Talk it out. Say how you feel. Express what you need. Communication has been sold as the golden ticket to a healthy relationship, but my next guest says it's not enough. According to Studio 5 marriage and family contributor Dr. Liz Hale, what matters more is connection, feelings of safety and security at the core. And with that, our good friend Liz Hale is making a really big statement today. You are not a fan of words?
Communication is out and connection is in. You know, words are just really inadequate, right? And they have different meanings to different people, right? I don't like them. Talking is probably the most dangerous thing that we do. Would you agree?
Talking is the most dangerous thing we do from a therapist.
Well, yeah, and the problem with words is we use usually too many, right? It creates a barrier, a wall between us, or the words we use are really hurtful.
Okay.
Have you ever been in a conversation where you wish afterwards it had been recorded? Because I promise you, what Ben said, I I didn't say.
Yes.
I promise.
Yes.
And so often we just, words just are inadequate enough that they have different meaning, and then we have different memories and recollections. So it's really frustrating and maddening.
So less communication, more connection.
Connection is really the key. Yeah.
And at the center of our physical bodies is this nervous system. And you say the nervous system can actually be irritated by words.
Oh yeah, the words are really irritating to the brain and to the nervous system. Have you ever been with a small child or even a husband? No names mentioned here, where they just kind of go on. And sometimes I just feel like I can't even think straight, right? It's too much coming at me. But let me tell you what the brain and the nervous system do like to hear, what they do pay attention to, because 90% of our communication is nonverbal, right?
Yes.
So they do pay attention to the proximity. When we're sitting close to someone, either at dinner, at church, in the car, it says to the brain, we're partners, we're in this together, we're lovers, we like each other.
So cuddle up.
You bet. Touch is another one, you know, especially when it's welcome touch. Touch just says, you know, I'm here for you, I love you, we're in this together, you're not alone, I've got you. Vocal tones, you know, so many people will say to me, look, Liz, my voice is just my voice, you know, I always come across kind of threatening and loud. Well, then go to acting school. That's what actors do all the time. They learn how to make a feeling with their words, their vocal tone, and their facial expressions. So it's a cop-out to say it's just how I am.
Okay.
Another one is eye control. You know, our eyes are the windows to the soul, as we say, right? Eye contact is so important. And we do it a little bit, and then we look away. So we need to linger longer on the eyes.
Which can also take practice, right? To get comfortable with that eyeball
to eyeball. It always takes practice. Yes, I realize how infrequently I look at Ben when he's talking, you know, and how much multitasking I'm doing.
Yes.
And I really have to improve in that area.
I'm guilty of that as well.
The other one that the brain registers in the nervous system is response speed. So when a partner comes in and I'm working on a project, working on a Studio 5 segment, let's say, how long is it going to take me to look up and acknowledge my husband and say,
huge.
oh, nice? Because his brain is registering that, well, that segment is a lot more important than I am, because it's taken her 3 seconds, 5 seconds to look up and acknowledge me.
So is it fair to say that the way we talk is more important than what we actually talk about?
It's the process, not the content, like we also often like to say in psychotherapy. So especially when the conversation is difficult, right? And maybe our voices are escalated, pay attention, go back to the eye contact and say, my partner looks scared, they look really upset, or they're looking down, or they're shut down. How often do I just kind of ignore what's going on and I barrel through because I really want my point, I want you to hear my point. So the process is really key. So pay attention and do a self-check. How loud am I talking? Why am I just barreling through? What's going on with my partner? And you can stop and say things like, you know what, you're my person. I don't want us to argue like this. You know, I'm sorry, I can see I'm getting a little loud here. Let's take a break. I love you. You know, we're in this together. I'll never forget once when Ben actually reminded me, look, what did he say exactly? I'm on your side. We're a team in this. And it stopped me in my tracks. It's like, yeah, you know what? I did forget that. I thought we were on opposing debate teams and we're on the same team.
So it's that pause, it's that nonverbal moment where I can connect, I can touch, I can get closer, and it would take us down.
It's the process, right? It's the process, it's not the content. I often say to clients, don't get so caught up in the content because words are inadequate. We don't have the right words. We only have so many. And I only know so many words. Sometimes I don't know the right words to describe how I'm feeling.
Or like you said, it means differently. Those words land
differently, that's right.
That's huge, Liz. That's so enlightening. Yeah. You say there is one word swap that you would like to see us make in our relationships, and that's from me to we.
In our psychotherapy, or maybe even in school, we talk so much about I statements, right? I feel angry, I feel tired, I feel upset, I feel sad. That's fine to take that responsibility. But what about using the we instead? You know what, like we are not very good at this, are we? We are struggling with this. We really need to find a new way. What do we want to have happen here? Because this is making me feel sad. Where do we want to go? So we need to pause for a minute because I love you and I don't even like how this is sounding. I don't like how it's coming out of my own mouth. I really want us to learn how to do things differently in regards to this topic of money or sex or parenting.
So if we don't need more conversation, then what do we need more of?
Yeah, we need practice, right? And I think every time something goes south, use that as a great opportunity. Doesn't mean the world is coming to an end, but give a break, go ahead and eat and rest. Find a time when you're not stressed and say, can we go over that topic again? We didn't do that very well. Would you practice with me so that we can get better at this and that we can feel more love for each other? Who's not going to want to practice that? It's really quite fun to go back and re-rehearse. Here's what I wish I would have said, Ben. You know, here's what I wish we would have done. And usually you're laughing. I love for clients to bring an argument into the session so that we can dissect it a little bit. And we can learn because there's muscle memory and brain memory. And again, when you're in that situation, and you will be, you already have some words and some memories about how to do it differently.
When clients do bring those arguments to your office, what are some of the lessons that are learned? Or what are some of the ahas that as you rehearse or rehash those, they might walk away from?
Oh, it's just so fun. You know, it's just so fun to slow it down. And they're in a different environment, you know, and the upset is past. So right now they can say, oh, you know what? I see how I came across. I think of a couple in particular. They were given a Hawaii trip by his family. And she was kind of a stinker on the trip. She didn't realize she had been, but she was not very grateful, very appreciative. She felt like it was the dad's agenda, her father-in-law's agenda. And then looking back on it, she says, oh, I see how I came across. No wonder, husband, you were upset with me and you were kind of defensive of your dad. You know, there were different ways we could have done that. We could have, you know, gone away and done our own thing for an afternoon after we realized what was on your dad's agenda. So there's just a different way of saying, I see myself. I didn't recognize it. I just thought that I was being put upon. The agenda was put upon me, you know, and you were defending your family, not me.
And there comes the practice,
great
the
insight.
Self-reflection.
Yes.
And those nonverbal cues that can help us in the moment. I'm going to tell you, you want to read Liz's article on the Studio 5 website. I was like waking Mark up last night as I was looking over your notes, like, this is amazing, and texting my sister. It's a really wise collection of these thoughts and ideas, and she expounds on them in a beautiful way. And you have an additional resource if people want more on this topic.
Well, I wish I'd written the book, you know, and it is by John Howard. I think we probably have a picture of it, that More Than Words. Very generous author. It's written more for the modern couples, Brooke. You know, not all of the couples we see in psychotherapy are heterosexual couples. Not all are married. Some have non-monogamous relationships, and he really even speaks to those type of couples. All the tools are the same, you know, regardless of the dynamic between two people, married, not married, LGBTQ, whatever it might be. So I think it speaks to a lot of people today. And that's very welcome.
And thank you for this topic.
I can't speak enough of that great work by John Howard. He's very generous too. His website, Get More Than Words, is also very helpful.
All right. Well, you've been so helpful today. Look for Liz's article and her words on our website, studio5.ksl.com. Great job, Liz. Thank you so much.